So welcome to the Health Tech Talk Show, everybody. It is Friday, November 7th at 3:00 p.m. Eastern Time. My mother might be watching this show. Mama, if my audio is not better per your AI research this morning, please let me know in comments. She spent like an hour texting me this morning telling me that Lisa sounds and looks so much better than me. And what is Lisa doing? And why can't I figure this out?
My friend.
And why can't I do it? Yeah, my mom might love Lisa more than me. We'll see. I hope she's listening because then we'll get.
That's great.
She probably won't comment
fantastic.
on LinkedIn, but she might.
I accept.
Yeah,
I accept the love. For
my
sure.
mother, like, she's always been like really good at technology, and so I think that's why I'm so bad at it, because like she always just fixed it for me. Also, she told me she needs me to break up with ChatGPT, my boyfriend, and start dating Grok.
I already know what she's gonna say. Your mom is pro Grok, without a doubt. Yeah, that's amazing.
I haven't even heard of that one.
Grok is
XAI.
Elon Musk's thing, and
XAI.
Grok is in my Tesla, and it has a lady boss voice, which I did not set. And so I told her, I was like, well, Grok is my girlfriend. And she's like, well, Grok has lots of voices. And I was like, in my house, she's a lady boss. So anyway,
absolutely
shout out to Linda. Anyway, okay, we've got Lisa Barry, Melissa Danino, and then Jay Ludlam, the deputy director, right? Deputy secretary. Yep, of great state of North Carolina.
That's
so, because he's
this is what happens when you literally do not prep for your show. You don't even know someone's actual title.
It's his birthday, guys.
You have a guest.
It's his birthday.
It's his birthday.
Oh, Jesus Christ! What did we have planned? Nothing.
I literally put it on the invite, guys.
I know. I was gonna say, literally, Melissa put it on the invite. It's like birthday,
but
Jay.
Do you remember? I put in. Okay, so that didn't register. I put that in Slack. Do you remember? And I said, Melissa, our birthday, the Health Tech Talk Show's birthday, is in September.
And she was like, "What are you talking about?"
I didn't know what you were talking about.
Listen, Jay, we are very poorly organized, but happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
For your birthday. You are on a very unhinged, no prep live talk show. It's great.
I love it.
It's great. Great news.
Jay, to protect you, we're going to send you to the background because you're a government official.
To protect you.
We don't want you to be held
responsible.
That.
I appreciate that as well.
Okay, in the next 27
soon.
minutes, Melissa, if you could please figure out something we can do for this man's birthday, that would be great.
Okay, I got it.
Fantastic. Great.
Oh my God.
Okay.
All right. Well, I haven't gotten a text from my mom yet, so I feel like things are better. It's unclear. I don't know. Okay.
Great.
Anyway, Melissa, anything exciting going on other than your drive from Atlantic City?
Nope, that was it. Took a lot of calls in the truck stop. I'm good. I'm here now. I'm settled.
Yeah. Melissa gets the job done, y'all. That's all I got to say about that.
Everything's happening.
That's right. That's right.
Oh my God. Did you go anywhere this week?
No, I've been home for 2 weeks. It's been amazing.
Wow.
I went to work. I went to my office. That's all I did is I went to work. There was crazy rainstorms. That's it. That's all that's happening.
I didn't go anywhere since Shannon's conference, which we didn't even talk about. You were to go to someone's real life wedding, a family member.
Yeah, my sister got married and I could not logistically also go to DC. And so I had to miss the Data Event Summit, which is great. It's always good times, well produced, good speakers, good stuff. So I'm sad.
It is always really great. Yeah, I only got to stay for part of the day, but it was really great. And Jenny Blumenthal's back. That girl's back. She told me she is she's off the chain. So I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, apparently she is allowed to express her full feelings, opinions.
Goodness, we have missed her.
Where has she? I know.
Yeah,
Jenny. Please come back to the internet. We are waiting for you.
Jenny, we're ready. We will platform your crazy ideas. We love them.
Yeah, here for it. Anyway,
for it.
Well, I don't know what really happened, but I did go through the remnants of our text messages that still were around, as well as our Slack channel, to put together this amazing deck. Not totally sure what this image is here, but I assume Max was getting ready for Christmas and
Winter Wonderland. I don't know.
Yeah, it's
with a bear.
Yeah.
Sure. I like it.
Yeah, I did get a text from Fulton County, Georgia today telling me that there's a freeze advisory going on, which means for me, in 20 seconds, it's going to go below freezing. So yeah, Pooja, she's back. She's coming back. Remember how great her LinkedIn posts were?
Oh, God, I loved them.
Jenny. Yeah, I know.
We missed her.
Well, hopefully something happens there. All right, what do we got going on? Lots of news. Biggest news, well, most recent news is that the Trump administration has successfully negotiated lower prices for various forms of GLP-1s.
Listen, as you know, as loyal fans of the talk show know, we've had a disagreement in the past about GLP-1s. Listen, the obesity rate in America is dropping. It is not random coincidence. It is because there is pretty significant adoption of these drugs, which are truly transformational for people. And importantly, they have other uses that are coming out in long-term clinical trials for all kinds of other things that are inflammatory. And so I am excited and I super appreciate this is like the best thing I can point to right now that President Trump is doing is bringing down the cost of drugs. Let's do it.
Yeah, let's not change our food pyramid and have people eat shit tons of carbs, but then give everybody GLP-1s. No big deal. No big deal, Lisa.
By the way, you were worried before you were saying, oh, well, people are saying you're going to lose muscle and fat. Yes, correct. You have to actually really be careful about what you eat when you're taking GLP-1s. You need to make sure you're getting enough protein, for example. And so, yeah, that is correct. That is correct. And exactly as Melissa Dino says, this is also a big area of focus right now, and it's working because it totally affects the way your brain thinks about food and things that are addictive, potentially like drugs and alcohol. And so
and processed
could be
foods.
Major. Yeah.
Yeah. I just feel,
totally.
I agree. I do think there's lots of promise for substance use disorder. Totally agree. I'm just saying, I don't think all of us need to be on a GLP-1. I think maybe there are other things that America could do that are cheaper.
Sure.
I don't know.
Great.
Plus,
great. Make it so you can safely go outside and not get shot outside your house. Make it so that you can cross the street without getting run over by a car, so you can actually walk. I'm open to all that stuff. Let's do it all.
Let's do all those things. Let's
do it all.
I'm just not into it. I'm like,
let's do it all.
Plus, what Lisa's referring to is on a very active and lively and one of my most satisfying group chats with her. I went out to dinner with a bunch of like fancy doctors, and they were like, "Kat, don't take GLP-1s. It'll dissolve all." They didn't use these exact words. These are mine. They'll dissolve all your muscle. And then when you get off of it, it will only be fat and you will be, quote, a blob.
This is not true. And unfortunately, doctors are people too who also are not aware of all of the up-to-date information. And also, just a little flag for future, our special guest is going to have a comment on this too, we think. So
we'll see.
Interesting stuff.
We don't know because we've refused to accommodate his PR team and tell him what we were going to say because we didn't know.
That's true.
But anyway, yeah, whatever. So this is, I'm not arguing with you, Lisa, that there is lots of utility in these drugs. I just don't think that they are the solution for the American chronic disease epidemic. No big deal. Also,
name something that's worked, Kat. Name something that's worked.
I'm just saying,
you can't.
Yeah, I can't. Well, I guess, are you saying this is it?
This is it. This is all we got.
Okay, Lisa is saying this is it. Someone put it down. Let's take bets over under. I'm just saying, in 10 years, when there's a class action lawsuit for everybody's pancreas is exploding from taking GLP.
Yeah.
I hope my mom is listening. I feel like she agrees with me.
I know.
Anyway, okay. So whatever. That's actually good news because as everybody knows, GLP-1s are super expensive. People can't afford them. People who actually need them can't take them. So this is like good news. I think it's the price that they've negotiated is $250.
No, $149 actually.
Oh, what's the $250?
I don't know. I mean, that's for the lowest dose. So it's not. Of course, that's the lowest dose. So I'm sure it goes up from there.
The point is, they're much cheaper than they are otherwise, and that's good news. Yeah. Is this still the cash pay price though? Like I was.
Yeah, that's the idea, right? So like right now, the cash pay price is between like $400 and $500, and people are paying it. So yeah. Yeah,
so this will all be good, and then but this article from your bestie. Oh, he's on YouTube. George Matthews showing up. I don't know how. Can we display this one?
Yeah, you just of course same thing.
Oh my god, I'll stop.
You just show it right here. George is our YouTube watcher. Yeah, I think we don't know yet. Long story short, we don't know yet. I assume if there is a really cheap cash pay price, then people can go on that as well for those indications that might be off label. I don't know the details now. You're a doctor, George. Come on.
Yeah, aren't you a doctor?
Yeah,
hey,
he's a doctor.
George,
he's a real doctor.
Since you're a medical doctor, could you tell me if I will become a blob if I take a GLP-1?
Yeah,
just curious.
Let her know.
If you could just comment for our loyal fans, that would be great. Anyway, but so like again, there's lots of complexities to these drug negotiations, right? The whole Trump RX thing, which is semi-related, that's all like cash pay prices, self-pay. And so this is why people were saying this might be great for America at large. It looks like it's actually unlikely, according to this lengthy piece from Politico, that it's going to be useful. Thanks.
That's medical advice.
Love having some doctors. But anyway, it looks like it's unlikely that this, or not guaranteed. Maybe our super exciting legitimate guest will be able to tell us what North Carolina thinks about this. But it looks like a lot of Medicaid plans, it's definitely not a given or anything close that any of the states will be able to really take advantage of this.
Well, there was also some like mixed up reporting. They were like, oh, the administration's negotiating on behalf of Medicare and Medicaid. I was like, I don't know if that's true. Again, probably our real guest will tell us the real story, but what I'm making up is just like reading kind of potentially poor reporting.
Yeah. Also, hey, Dustin.
Hello from Connecticut. That's right.
Hello from Georgia, and California. Okay. Other things. This was a study that may also have been quoted in our very lively group chat, but Lisa, you were bringing this up from Arcadia. Their data showing that actually, like, not a lot of people remain on these drugs for a lot of different reasons they hypothesize. So you actually read this whole thing. I just copied and pasted this chart. Why don't you tell us about it?
No, my frenemy for life, Arcadia, published this great research, which I support. I mean, they obviously don't get into the correlations around this, right? They suggest like, well, reasons why people who are older might stay on it more is because they can afford it, for example, or they have more money, and there's all kinds of reasons. They were hypothesizing why this happens. They were just showing the top line statistics here, and then talking about the different potential factors as to why someone might stay on or not. And I suspect a lot of it, given the brittle nature of our healthcare system, has to do with cost and coverage. Not everybody can afford a $500 a month additional cost for something like a GLP-1, and not everybody has coverage of that, and so I'm sure that it has to do with those factors as well.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah. There's a bunch of other studies that have come out too, with all kinds of weird data that some is contradicting other things, and whatever. I'm sure someone smart will tell me which one is true. Maybe I could ask my mom's favorite AI boyfriend, Grok.
Totally.
We will see. Other exciting things that happened this week. A federal judge, again, I think yesterday, told the Trump administration they actually had to fund SNAP benefits. They're now saying we need an emergency pause, and we're obviously going to appeal. I just think it's awful. Like, this is just freaking awful.
It's so bad. And I mean, and by the way, the response is differing from state to state, as you might imagine. Some states, some municipalities are finding ways to additionally fund or provide backstops, emergency support for people, like knowing there's going to be a lot of hungry people. And not in this case, cat will not become a blob, but in the entire country, there will be hungry people who will not have money to pay for food, and that it's a massive disaster, as it rightfully is. So the response is just totally varied, right? Like, there's some states that are saying, I think like Florida is saying, we will not fund any SNAP benefits at all across the state. Other states who are trying to find ways to fund, other cities who are trying to find ways to fund, right? It is a very, scattershot response based on what kind of resources are available. And man, it's just, as as I was saying, I think last week, like, this is my nightmare, and I am so sad and so angry about this. And please, let's fund SNAP and get people food. Thank you very much for your attention to this matter.
Agreed. It's generally dumb and very unserious of the administration to leverage feeding people.
Hunger, starvation.
Yeah, that's like bullshit.
Not a fan.
There's something else we're going to talk about that they're leveraging, which is reducing flights. Whatever, definitely a catastrophe.
That one's targeted directly at Kat. They were like, how can we make Kat McDavid's life worse?
Yeah. Anyway, she sucks. Whatever. Okay.
Get her.
Anyway, we'll get there. But other exciting, wild things that happened in America. We have a Democratic Socialist elected to mayor of New York City, which is a really freaking big place, bigger than most states. and the capital of capitalism.
Bigger than a lot of countries, just to be totally clear.
Yeah,
It
greatest
is
city
it
on
is
earth.
not no,
Yep.
it is a 8.5 million-ish people, one of the only certainly one of the only mega cities in this part of North America. Yeah, it's a big deal, and like it's been really funny because you know how like so many people on the internet, especially Reddit, are just like incapable of understanding the realities of the world. They're like, why does everyone care about the mayor of New York? I'm like, New York is bigger than your stupid state. Sorry. No, New York is bigger than most countries. Like, really, it is a very large place. This is a massive economy. I don't know, more than $100 billion, right? It's
Capital
a
of capitalism.
huge bellwether. Yeah, capital of capitalism, like huge bellwether. I mean, in this case, man, if you've been following this election, the other candidates, let's just say, were not good. Like, I don't like, I'm really not a good not a great showing from the other party or other candidates. Yeah, not
Yeah.
great.
I mean, yeah. So I also included this specific political article because I was hungry and I love plantains and I was
I
just
love
very excited that
mofongo. Oh
there
my
was
god.
food.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
same.
Well, I would
Hard
love to
same.
eat that right now. Oh my god. But anyway, this guy. So yeah, I agree. I mean, first of all, I don't think they had good candidates. Cuomo, like, well, I don't know. But then you know, whatever. I think
It's just
I don't.
very craven. It was very much like F you, like people of New York City, you're gonna get this guy who like killed your grandmother in the pandemic, like, or you're gonna get Eric Adams, who is basically like in the pocket of Turkish Airlines. I don't even know what his deal is. The guy has like a scam a minute. Like it's very unclear. Like these are your candidates. I mean,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
And then
I
we got
think
this
people,
guy, and he's
yeah,
giving people free mofongo.
I
Like,
mean,
but
he's very young. I love the energy. He's such a great public speaker. We'll see. By the way, this is. Do you have this in your? I don't think you have this here. Or do you have LenaCon? Is LenaCon coming up, or
oh
should I?
no, I don't. But
Okay, okay. Yeah. By the way, big news for the talk show. Lena Khan is on his transition team,
she
and
never came on
everyone
our
knows
show.
I have a huge crush on her and absolutely still want her to come on the show. Lena
Maybe she
Khan,
will.
please come on the show. And like, so that's just super exciting. So he's clearly putting in some experienced people. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what's going to work, but I love the energy. And I love that, like, he got voted in by a ton of people. Like, a ton of people voted. And by the way, that's how voting works. Like, you vote for the candidate you want, hopefully, and then we see what happens.
Yeah. Now, as a capitalist who is pro-capitalist in a place like New York City, yeah. Lena Khan, come on our show, just to be clear. That's still an open invite.
Seriously.
We would be so excited. No, but like, listen, like, I am not really into this guy's like general philosophies on money.
Sure.
But that said, like, this is one of the things I think is so cool about America, and this is why I think we work, right? Because like states and populations want
Voting.
different things, and they vote and they have elected officials, and they represent that specific population. That's cool. So if New York City wants a democratic socialist, like, I'm freaking here for these people. Yeah. They voted for this guy. He does.
Oh, and also,
like
can I just say, if you're one of the clowns on social media who's like, if he gets elected, I'm leaving New York. I'm pretty sure they're like, please don't let the door hit you where the good Lord split you. Like, please go. Like, we're happy to see you leave. Goodbye.
I mean, I would not move to New York City to start a business, to be clear. However, there's lots of data showing that when all this stuff happens, companies actually don't leave.
Yeah, like, calm down. Look at like so actually the funniest person. So now, of course, with social media is hilarious about this, as it has been for the whole time. But basically, like, the first person was like, "I'm leaving," is like George Santos, and everyone's like, "He's already making the city better." Like,
goodbye. You're the
worst. Please leave.
Yeah, again,
it's too funny. Like,
see you in Florida. Like, whatever.
See you in Florida. Like, you know what? I do think and honestly, I support, like, if you feel that way, then I'm sure that, like, you should move wherever you want to go. I think that's fine. Again, if you don't, if you're worried, like, calm down. It's going to be fine. I'm sure it is. Like, everybody moves to the center in this situation, and he's got a big coalition to manage. You know what? Good luck. I couldn't be me. I would rather die before being in that kind of position, but, like, that's a hard job, man. It's going to be a hard job.
A lot of the commentary
Big
too
problems.
is like, because he is in a city, right? The state, the governor, still has a lot to do with a lot of the changes that he once made. So like, I know a lot of people were voting for him for a lot of very like they loved his socially liberal policies and all that, which I do too. Like, do whatever you want. This is freaking America. Again, I don't think this is great for business, which I truly believe in, and I don't believe in centralized government. But also, the fact that we have a democratic socialist massive city is also a demonstration of why our government works, because that is a very decentralized move.
Pluralistic society. Let's do it.
Boom. Okay. Yeah. All right. Moving on. Okay. The worst thing that happened to me all week is that the Trump administration said that we're reducing flights. What the hell? Just to be clear, all of you people who fly on planes a lot, this is what I've done this week. I have double booked myself on two.
Oh my
I'm
God.
on 2 flights. I'm flying to like 100 cities in the next 2 weeks. I am on 2 flights per day, just in case one gets canceled. And because at least in Atlanta, there are 400 million diamond medallions here. Even though I have super diamond status, it doesn't matter. I will still be on the end of whatever list. So you got to do 2. Everybody be like Kat, book 2 flights, see what happens. Cancel one.
Yeah. Yikes,
Anyway.
man. No, I had to change. I had to change my flights, which were going into National to Reagan to Dulles, which was really sad for me because I hate Dulles with all my heart. And yet I am going to have to fly into Dulles and hope it all works out. Obviously, I hope more than anything the government reopens before then. But, you know, it's going to be touch and go, you guys. I might be taking the Amtrak. And Amtrak is technically run by the government, but it's a separate corporation, I think, that's required to like run itself. So I don't think they're affected. So I might be on a week-long trip across the country on Amtrak. It's going to be exciting. I will live stream it.
We need more rich friends who have PJs. Yeah. Although I hear even they're throttled, obviously. Like they're
throttled too. Thank goodness.
What the heck? Also, so super pissed the Trump administration for leveraging hunger to be mean to the Democrats and not do a deal. Also super pissed that you are affecting my business. Like you are affecting commerce, friends. Not cool.
Now you're making an enemy of Kat when you stop commerce.
This is what made me mad the last time. All of a sudden I had to like wait in TSA for 170 hours. Like, what the heck, you guys? You know.
Yeah. I think they were saying at some airports you should come the night before, like no joke, to get through TSA. Like Dallas. Someone told me today, Dallas.
Well,
come the night before. Yikes.
So, I mean, I tell you what, the bars are going to be wild there. So we'll see. Okay. I think we kind of reported this. Has he actually been officially named yet? Or because like, I don't think he has it because the government's closed. Dan Brillman's.
He has not. I don't think he's been officially named or been like voted in or whatever. Whatever has to happen here.
Sworn in. Anyway, Dan Brillman, he's going to be the new head of Medicaid. In case no one saw the 1 million different articles about that so far, he's coming. He's coming. Okay. Yeah. Oh yeah. This is a post from Johanna, who now has her own business, but has been, I think she was at MITRE, a bunch of places. She's talking about the Rural Health Transformation Program. Yeah. Applications were due on November 5th. That was Wednesday. She had like a nice little post about this. Also, shout out to Johanna. She has her own business now. So check her out. Yeah. And essentially so it looked like all 50 states have submitted applications. There was some rumor and drama that some of the extremely blue states were not going to submit because they didn't think they'd get anything or something, but that might have just been drama llama. All 50 did submit. There are many states, though not all, are posting their applications on their websites. So super transparent. Although, you know, some states aren't into transparency. So, you know.
I think there's going to be, I think some have been released. Yeah, some have like released the information they've submitted. And others, I suppose you could FOIA. Potentially, might take a while.
Yeah, but yeah, a lot of them are. I think a lot of the states will end up putting. I think they're just. I think a lot of them are probably taking a nap, just because they didn't have much time to put these together. From what I understand, some states were a little like super vague, so that they'll RFP or do things as they know what money they got. Some were very specific. So anyway, hopeful that this works out for everybody and the states get what they need. Also, vendors. Requests from the states to stop coming at them like piranhas, money-eating piranhas. Like we've heard from a bunch of states, I think both Lisa and I, that they're like, holy shit, if we have to talk to one more vendor that it thinks they're entitled to this money, like gross.
Yeah, so let me answer this question from George, which is important, which is that no, I mean, as far as I know, no, none of the the applications have included specific partners, because the steps are like the states do the applications, then they get the determination from CMS, from the federal government, whether, how much they're going to receive and what it looks like. There's a baseline, then there's also an additional amount that is variable based on the rurality of the state and their hospitals and health systems and whatever else in their population. And so they'll get the determination of how much they receive and what was approved and things like that. And then they'll go out and figure out how to distribute that. It could be directly from the states, could be from the states to like the health systems and the hospitals. It could be whatever else. Now, there isn't enough money to do a lot of like workforce augmentation, for example. Like the intention was definitely around the sort of technology and the infrastructure and the telehealth and things like that. We're probably going to see more of that. But yeah, I mean, it's not a lot of money. And like, I mean, I just, the idea that it's like, certainly, I mean, a bunch of technology companies I know, ones I work for, all this kind we're all interested, but like the reality is this is a small amount of money on top of a massive cut. And so like, it's going to be rough. And yes, because of this, because of the headline number of 50 billion, which is not actually that much money. We talk about the entire United States of America, but whatever, like everyone's like, ooh, this is more than meaningful use. No, this is on top of like a massive, massive cut
150 million,
to budgets.
150 billion cut.
Yeah. So like, rough times. But yeah, basically states are being inundated by technology vendors, and they're getting a little bit frustrated. And no, as far as I understand, they are not including partners in their application. They have not included partners in their applications, and there will be a process sort of state by state, depending on what they're approved for and what they actually want to do. So we'll see.
Given the speed, though, I will, a hot tip to the vendors out there who watch our show, given the speed at which the states have to spend this money and prove some sort of outcome
pretty fast
in the first year, expect a lot of sole sourcing, expect a lot of public-private partnership sourcing, like that kind of stuff. So go be friends. Also, like if you have a state-by-state strategy, that is freaking hard, and you can't just like send white papers and do fly-by-night bullshit.
Right.
Like you got to really like love on those states. And you are probably too late to have developed such trust, at least for year one. So just saying. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. So the government's like still shut down. And just so everybody knows, a lot of what the Democrats are currently fighting for are subsidies for the ACA marketplaces. These have increased without these premiums for the exchange insurance plans have gone up like wicked high, double-digit percentages. And just to be clear, 3 out of 4 marketplace enrollees are actually in Trump-voted states. So, maybe like write to your senators so that I can get on an airplane when I want. That would also be great. I don't know, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, all true, but like, Jesus, and health insurance is broken. Like, I realize that's understatement of the universe, but like, it's just, guys, I mean, wow, we are in a bad place.
Yeah, so United, this is Rick Renard, who's a friend of Health Tech Nerds, posted this on LinkedIn. And then, of course, so the big news is United is basically abolishing reimbursement for RPM down to two conditions: heart failure and preeclampsia, hypertensive disorders of pregnancy. That's it. And I love some of the parts of his post. He talked about some great things. The problem is that COVID turned RPM into a free money casino. And he gives, this is also pen stroke risk, right? Like this is what we always talk about. TLDR, infinite reimbursement schemes are not a sustainable business model. The music always stops eventually.
Yeah,
but it is sad
a lot. This is as loyal fans of the talk show now. This is Kat's perfect example of like pen stroke risk, but for United is not a government entity. It's just big enough that it can do pen stroke risk as well, right? And so when you build your entire business model around this type of reimbursement, and then you have a player as large as United, who's like, JK, never mind, like. I think, you have a problem. And this is why I always am like questioning what, like, how much do these VCs like actually care or understand about this kind of stuff? Like if you were a VC who funded a company who's doing this thing at a big scale and you were depending on reimbursement in this way, like, did you like do the research on this? Did you already discount this? Like, this feels like a big deal.
Agree. I think, well, we talk about this all the time. Like, it seems like some of these VCs are like super smart people. And I think we all assume they are too. But like we were talking about all the AI stuff too, or like Hippocratic AI. Like, I mean, there's so much scammy stuff going on, and these smart people just funnel money in. So I don't know. Maybe they don't care. Or maybe they think it'll be like the companies will exit before this kind of stuff happens. I don't know. You know? I'm a bad investor, so that's probably part of it. I mean, my stock portfolio is just betting on America and the S&P 500. That's it. That's all I can do. I'm just betting on America over here.
That's right.
Anyway, this is a funny thing you sent me. It's not funny, but this is a funny thing.
It's not funny, but it's funny. I mean, this was also from HTN, and the person who posted it was like, they're like roast this notice or whatever, and it's just it's like
off or something, right?
Yeah, and it's like oh, like good news, like or bad news, you're dead. Like good news, you don't have to deal with health insurance anymore or whatever. Like it's like, what is
if I got a letter from a health system telling me that I had died, I think I might be like, is this like, am I in like the Sixth Sense? Like, I think I would really freak out a little. Anyway, sounds bad.
Sorry, main help.
Okay, speaking of AI, so as everybody knows, we tried to we as in the federal government tried to put a moratorium on state AI regulation laws. That didn't happen. So now the states are freaking going for it, which is sad for tech firms and VCs because now they have to deploy lots of state lobbying efforts. You can see here, so over 1,000 bills were proposed and a dozen signed into law, with most of the big ones coming from California, Texas, and New York. That is typical. The big states do the things. So I'm curious to see if when the government reopens and anyone cares about anything anymore, if they will continue to pursue a moratorium and what that does to these pre-existing state laws. I don't know. I'm anti-central planning and pro-states. So, we'll see how that goes. It doesn't make it more expensive for the tech firms.
It does. I mean, at the same time, like, I don't know. I mean, I can see the arguments about everything healthcare technology, everything, AI related innovation being really tricky to regulate from the state level because obviously state boundaries don't exist on the internet or whatever.
Right.
And, I mean, at the same time, like you said, that's how we set up America. So
and America we are the best. And this is like a similar problem with health data exchange, right? All these HIEs have different state data use agreements based on what their populations and people wanted. And that does make national health data exchange kind of bullshit. But it also is good for states that have passed reproductive rights, data moratoriums, like things like that. So I don't know, like I'm pro-America, I'm pro-state. I'm not mad about this. We'll see what happens. But speaking of this, we were talking on a call earlier today, which I thought was hilarious. You told me about this. Speaking of the AI, I mean, everybody says there's like a bubble. I'm always ready for the long, cold winter. So I kind of hope there's a bubble because I'm like the only one who's ready, apparently. It's only me. I don't know. But Lisa, what happened? It sounds like OpenAI did some shady stuff.
Yeah, listen, I make a lot of jokes about communism here, and I'll just say, like, if the state is like backing your private company, that's like communism.
That's like un-American.
like I do not want OpenAI to crash the government, to crash our entire economy, please.
Yeah.
I've never said the words, I agree with David Sachs, but I agree with David Sachs. And there should not be a federal bailout for artificial intelligence of any kind. After this, like this was the CFO of OpenAI talking, and it was reported in the Wall Street Journal, like pretty well sourced. And this person said that, they wanted a backstop from the federal government for their loans. And then, of course, they immediately walked it back. And the Wall Street Journal was like, and the Washington Post were like, we were there. Like, we heard you say this. Like, it wasn't ambiguous. So sorry it didn't go so well when you raised that trial balloon. And I, just shout out to David Sachs again, words I've never said in my life, because I agree. And we need to be really firm on this one. So no, that's a no for me.
Yeah, hard no for me too. That's like not how America works. So
nope.
Anyway, and then right after that, Sam Altman said, "Oh,
That was right.
We didn't mean it."
They're like, "Oh, just kidding, JK, JK, LOLs. We didn't mean it. We tried. We raised that trial balloon and it immediately popped."
Yeah. Whoops. Oh,
Whoops.
that was wrong. And maybe they'll, as usual, maybe they will fire their lady executive for saying this thing. I don't know.
Right.
We'll see what happens. I mean, why not?
Let's take some bets.
All right. Okay. This is all we have for like semi-real news for the day. So we're going to switch over to our super special, real, actual guest who looks like he has stayed on with us. Oh my God,
Amazing.
Jay.
I did. I did.
Oh my God. So you dropped some interesting comments here. Well, no, first, please introduce yourself. Tell our loyal fans where you even came from. I did look at your LinkedIn profile for 1 minute. So interested in hearing your story. How'd you get to the state?
To the state of North Carolina was, I was sitting at a conference with a fellow Medicaid director, and they said that they had some problems, and I said, maybe I can help solve them. So, and then I came over. So, good afternoon, Jay Ludlam, Deputy Secretary, North Carolina Medicaid. Been in and around Medicaid for the last nearly 20 years. Worked for the Attorney General's office, prosecuting doctors and dentists for Medicaid fraud. Worked for private. It seems like I need to share my capitalist bona fides.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to get at. I looked at your LinkedIn profile.
Yeah, an entrepreneur. Yeah. I've done all these things. And then worked for the state of Missouri and then came over here to North Carolina.
Okay. So you had like a little training in state stuff with the Missouri people.
I did.
Got it.
It was good. It was good stuff.
So like, what's even going on in this state? Like, are things crazy? Are people freaking out? Like, what's happening?
Yeah, I mean, this year has been, well, let's start with last year. Last year was amazing. I mean, we're going through Medicaid expansion. We were adding hundreds of thousands of people onto Medicaid, working rural North Carolinians. We launched a medical debt relief program, which I probably could argue is the right thing for people, given that it's a debt of necessity, not of convenience. You don't pick what county you're going to have a heart attack in and where that ambulance is going to take you, and then you don't negotiate your price while you're laying there on the table. But so last year was an exceptionally good year, and I think this year has been tough. I mean, this year we had a lot of uncertainty with the DOJ cuts across the department here. We lost a lot of grant programs. We lost a lot, and then HR1, the one big beautiful bill, that's going to be tough for North Carolina. We're gonna lose almost $50 billion over 10 years. That Rural Health Transformation Fund, it's an exciting opportunity, but it won't replace that $50 billion. And so that's going to be tough. And then, we've had local budget issues. And then, of course, the SNAP shutdown. I mean, we've been monitoring food insecurity every day, talking about who's going to get furloughed as a state staffer who relies on these. It's been really intense. It's been really intense.
Yeah. So we've had I hope I'm right in saying this. Your friend Cody Kinsley,
my old boss. Yeah, my boss.
We've had him on twice. Once in his official capacity, and one in a very unofficial capacity.
Nice.
And the thing I'm into with North Carolina, there are a few states that I interact with that I feel this way. Like they're just like very like lean forward problem solvers, and they get along. I feel like that's the North Carolina vibe. I have that feeling in Indiana too. So I've never known you guys to kind of just be like, wow, our lives are awful. What are you doing to
right now?
Yeah. What are you doing to not fix, but
address
get through this challenging time,
survive. Yeah. And it's a concept that actually Cody kind of would talk about, and that was a crisertunity. Right. So how do you turn the crisis into an opportunity to basically completely reframe, rethink the problem? How do you take the moment that you're developing a solution and you layer not only the current, like how do we solve what's in front of us, but how do we advance the program or advance our technology or capture different data or think about how we do the actual work differently. So, there's a lot of crisertunity here right now. And so the key for us is how to continuing to just innovate, progress, recognize that if we've got a problem, we've got to solve it in a way that's different than we would have approached it in the past. So it's a lot of adapting to the moment and trying to innovate as much as possible.
Yeah.
Well, so talk to us about specifically, well, let's talk about the drug pricing thing. You mentioned that briefly. Like, what do you think about these big news? What does it mean for states? Because, obviously the federal government isn't usually negotiating entirely on behalf of states here. That's not how it works. You guys have to deal with your own drug costs, more or less. I mean, what are your thoughts about that? I'm sure GLP-1s were a pretty big shock to the system in every state, and probably including North Carolina. Like, how do you think about that kind of stuff?
Yeah, so pharmacy is one of our largest growth areas in terms of the cost of that component of the program. And really, while it's an optional benefit, meaning that Medicaid programs don't need to do or cover pharmacy, it would be stupid to not cover it. So we cover it, right? We cover it. We're pretty efficient with it, meaning that between the federal match, federal rebates, which are standard, and then the supplemental rebates that the state negotiates on its own, 86 cents on the dollar towards that program is paid for by somebody else. And so North Carolina is really only paying 14 cents on the dollar for our drug costs, but the costs are going up. And so I am excited and interested to see the federal government step in and try to assist, create some kind of market leverage to negotiate better pricing on behalf of states. I really like how they approached sickle cell and the DBP arrangement there. That was really innovative, and we were an early adopter of that. And so very encouraging of the approach. On the GLP-1s, we'll see what the final guidance, what the final numbers kind of come in at. I mean, I think the two of you went back and forth on what the real number was, and I think we're going to see what it is. But again, federal match, that's almost 65% of the cost is covered already. Federal rebates, and then the supplemental rebates, and we have an incredibly good pharmacy team that negotiates hard, and so we'll see if the price is better. I think it's really exciting to see CMMI and the federal government get involved.
Yeah, it's interesting on that one. Like, there's so many structural barriers to us negotiating in different ways. Do you feel like North Carolina on its own is big enough to negotiate the rates that you really think we should be seeing for some of these things, right? There's just so many weird layers and weird incentives in the system.
Yeah, no, we're not. And we're the 9th, 10th largest state by population, and market buying power. We've got really good market buying power.
Sure.
But no, I don't think it works out that way. And I think that's part of the problem is, you really have 51 different pharmacy markets, and they're all on their own. And so there's no scale, or the scale gets smothered pretty quickly. But we've been talking internally. Is this the moment with the federal pressures, losing federal revenue? We've got local revenue issues. Is this the moment for us to look for a new model? Do we need to link arm with other states and try to create an even bigger buying power? Should we be building an insulin factory to just try
like California?
Yeah, right.
We're doing that.
This is what I'm talking about. This North Carolina attitude is just the best. You're like, how do we do things differently? I love it.
No, you got to think differently, but you've got to figure out the problem. And this is going to be a long-term problem for most states, which is healthcare inflation is going up faster than revenues are going up for states. And that's just a recipe for, a problem. And so we're going to have to think innovatively. That's kind of where we're at right now.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So North Carolina, as we've talked before on the show, is actually quite rural. You have some major metro centers, but then a lot of rural parts of the state. So what can you tell us about what the state wants to do with the Rural Health Transformation Program?
Yeah, so admittedly, the Rural Health Transformation Fund was run out of our Office of Rural Health, but it is in large part trying to accomplish a lot of the goals and initiatives around supporting workforce, supporting provider clinicians, trying to bring community more into defining what solutions it needs, what problems it has, and then offering tools, not centralized tools, but necessarily, but kind of a framework for helping support them. And so, we've tried to approach it with, I'll call them shovel-ready projects, right? Because of the way that the application played out, you needed to have something that you had already been contemplating, but not had been able to implement it yet. And so, trying to be successful in your year one, have the data systems. I mean, the sole source question is going to be a big one. I mean, how do we hit the ground running? And ultimately, while we can't replace the lost federal revenue, we can support rural communities, rural economies, rural health economies using access to these funds. But I will look forward to some of those vendor emails going away.
I'm sorry if I've emailed you.
Are they
no, was it you or the AI?
Probably.
I don't know. Lisa does have an aggressive AI inbox.
No, I would never let AI send an email on my behalf. That is gross behavior. I'm against it.
Same.
All right. Good.
Same Z.
Ooh.
Can you before we move on, can you just tell us about the worst email?
Yeah, what are someone found your phone number and is blowing? What's the situation? What's the worst
we are the
behavior
solution to rural America? Tell us.
Yeah. So it is an email that we get from time to time, but it is an email where our old office, we just moved maybe a month ago, but our old office was on a 75-acre city park. And we would be personally offered a second loan off of that park if we would just sign these things. And so we would be offered a whopping $400,000 or something like that for
amazing.
For a $70 million park. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's a no.
And I'm not going to say that we didn't try. Because that would probably be wrong, but maybe we tried. Yeah.
Nice.
Amazing. Yes. That's awesome. Yeah. So, okay. Some of the other stuff that's been cool about North Carolina, I always forget the name, Healthy Communities or something.
Healthy Opportunities.
Healthy Opportunities.
Yeah.
And at least some of the data that I saw on Twitter/X was that it overwhelmingly had returns. Is what's going on with that program right now?
Yeah, and actually, you can see it on X, but you can see it in JAMA. I mean, we had some of our
why go there when I can just ask my mom's boyfriend Grok to find
120 characters, right? But so, Healthy Opportunities, really quickly, it's a program designed to support and address the underlying social conditions, SDOH, focused on food insecurity, housing instability, the impact of interpersonal, intergenerational violence, as well as transportation. And, it really, again, going back to that theme that we were talking about with the rural health transformation, and in part informed that rural health transformation application is we found that by empowering community to define who, or not who, but what was needed within the community. Food insecurity was the primary goal, or which community-based organizations were really delivering on home modifications for people who needed their shower modified because they now have a wheelchair and needed to get into it. That by putting the trust back into the community to tap into those already established relationships, churches, faith-based organizations, veterans organizations, by giving them that power, by giving them access to stable funding, that they were able to do amazing things. And they were able to not only reduce clinical issues that individuals faced, reduced ER visits, reduced inpatient day stays, but they were also able to save the state almost $1,000 per year per enrollee, which is astounding for a Medicaid program. Honestly, I was seeing charts where the cost curve was bending. And the kind of the hidden piece that we didn't capture in our data because it's not in the Medicaid lane was the impact on community. I mean, I don't know how you capture that a family farm that had been in the same family for 250 years, really part of the community, coming out of COVID was saved because of their participation, that we were able to provide stable income to contractors who were able to then extend their business and make other investments in community. And it was really hard to evaluate what is the ROI in Medicaid for that. And really, probably it was nearly zero. But to the community, the ROI was was really powerful, both from a personal perspective, but also, from an economic perspective. So really good program. Sadly, the General Assembly chose not to fund it. So we ended it. And I say all that because we have toolkits and things that we are very happy to give to municipalities, states, other programs, because the model really works. The model of empowering community to solve their own problems really works and reduces health issues as well as improves economies.
This is why I hate central planning, because they take away all of the usefulness of communities, sense of communities. Just saying, Lisa, just saying.
Yeah. Well, I was just going to say, I was thinking because remember your promo for this episode was like, who knows if the government will be open, but the states are still open. Yeah, states can't just shut down because you can't just shut down. That's not really how it works.
No, we can't.
Why did the General Assembly? What was the rationale for them voting no?
Political, right?
I think it was in part, almost I'll call it administrative, asking for, instead of embedding it within the core budget, we asked for it as a separate line item. So it kind of stood out a bit. I think too, there is, we have declining revenue here in the state. And I think that they were concerned about committing themselves to a long-term new benefit that supported, or reduced food insecurity and housing instability. I think they were worried about that, though ultimately what they didn't know, or we didn't do a good enough job about explaining, was it's dialable. So if we got a lot of money, we can do a lot. If we got a little money, we can do a little. And that was part of the program. But we're hopeful it'll come back. We're hopeful it'll come back. We'll keep moving on. It works. Yeah. It works.
How can we help get those toolkits and lessons and learnings out to other states or municipalities? Because like you said, you guys did this experiment and you saw outcomes, and it's what can we do to get that out to other people? How do they get that? Do they contact you? Do they go to your website? What do they do?
Yeah, send me an AI email.
Perfect. I'm going to use my AA auto dialer to dial all the numbers that are out there for you.
With tonal analysis. Honestly, if you Googled Healthy Opportunities North Carolina Medicaid, it would all, we have a whole website dedicated to a whole dashboard, but happy to drop a link in the chat and make sure that you can push it out to your faithful listeners.
Love it.
If you are a state, a municipality, a government of some kind, you want to know how to learn from what North Carolina did, we can help you. Contact us.
That's right.
Yeah.
We'll connect you.
Wait for Melissa to put it in the comments. We'll see what happens.
Melissa will do it. Contact Melissa. Don't contact me.
Please don't send me an email.
Yeah, it's fine. Or send her an AI email that follows up.
Send her an AI email. That's good.
That would be great. All right, Jay. So we've been asking you a lot of questions. What do you want to tell all of our loyal fans about the great state of North Carolina?
North Carolina does have a really good program here. I mean, and I'll talk Medicaid, but I also think that the department writ large. I mean, right now we're very focused on SNAP. We're very focused on making sure that North Carolinians who are food insecure have access to that benefit. Earlier today we had a conversation. Our team was up all night last night reprogramming the system because we got our federal drop. And I think we had over 500,000 families this morning who woke up and had now access to their to the card. And so, while Healthy Opportunities was designed to help people get healthy, and that's why we provided a food box, SNAP is really designed to keep kids from passing out in school. because they don't have enough food. And it's fundamentally a different program. And while a lot of people rely on it, and there could be some politics around it, the reality is a lot of people rely on it because they don't have access to food. And so that's really good. And that's the kind of focus that we have. I North Carolina Medicaid, we try to do the big things. We have now over 690,000 people who are enrolled in Medicaid expansion. That program didn't exist 2 years ago. And so it's just an unbelievable an acceleration of really supporting working families. In my work, trying to prepare for the One Big Beautiful Bill and all that debate, was a lot of conversation about who is on this program. And we really looked at it, and it's working rural North Carolinians are predominantly on it. They represent 20%. Oh, go ahead.
No, I'm agreeing with you. It's not just North Carolina, it's across the country, rural working people. Keep going.
Yeah, no, it's 20. So 20% of North Carolina is of our population is rural population. 40% of the people on expansion are living in rural areas, right? So that's twice as much. I think too, what we've done is we've designed a program here that tries to support rural communities so that they continue to have access to healthcare. A lot of the bipartisan work we've done over the last, I'd say 10, 12 years has been focused on how do we keep those rural hospitals open? They're not only important for the health of the community, they're important to the economy of the community. There are so many people that they employ, and then obviously it kind of spills over. I think that's a big thing. But again, like I'm so excited about being here because the opportunity to innovate, even despite the constraints and pressures we're under, it's really squeezing us and squeezing our thinking on how are we going to beat healthcare inflation. Like an idea how we're going to do it, but we're gonna, because we have no choice. And so we're going to do it through technology. We're going to do it through aligning incentives and value-based purchasing and all of that stuff. But in the end, it's going to be really just hard work that all of us are going to have to do together.
How much AI are you going to use?
Yes, I don't know what answer I'm supposed to give, but I'll tell you that it absolutely plays a role, right? So it should not be a decision-making role. It should be something that simplifies the administration of what we do. It should make the program more accessible to constituents as well as legislators, policymakers, meaning that we should be able to make sure that our waiver terms and conditions are consistent with the way our policies run. Like that's kind of some really easy stuff. And then I think really what it's going to do is we have an incredibly small staff profile. We only have 420 people who work in North Carolina Medicaid for a $34 billion program.
Wow.
I mean, honestly, like what Fortune 100 company would have only 400 people doing this work? And I think the only way we're going to be able to keep doing the work, given all the complexity, is to use AI as augment the work of the employees, not replace them, but give them more tools so that they can be more responsive, more consistent, eliminate errors, oversee managed care plans. What can we do to help providers get paid more accurately? I think those are some of the tools and ways we can use AI, and tonal analysis of customer service calls.
There you go. Love it. Okay. I hope you answer this. Yeah. If you had to pick your two favorite states with which to collaborate on cool shit, who would it be? You can name a territory too. It's fine.
So we have this culture in Medicaid where we try to, be all one. But well, first of all, North Carolina should be on everybody's list for collaboration. We looked at when we were launching managed care, we looked at Tennessee, we looked at Michigan. Michigan's very similar to North Carolina because it's very county heavy. Ohio's doing some really, Maureen did some really cool stuff there. I like Arizona. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't believe you got that out of me. I'm normally supposed to like totally
Ah,
dance around that.
Listen, you can have some favorites. It's totally fine. I'm here for it.
Yeah.
okay.
Well,
Missouri,
I like
too,
it.
'cause I was from
Missouri,
there.
God bless Missouri. God bless
Yeah.
Missouri. Melissa did come up. I'm going to try to actually play this for you.
Uh-oh.
Melissa did come up with.
How is this going to work?
Let's see.
Cannot wait to see how this is going to be amazing.
It might not be good. Hold on. Melissa made this for you, I think, on a website. There you go. Here we go. Happy birthday, Jay. Sorry you're confused.
This is just so many things. How do I go? Wow is right. That's the kind of high quality.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Health Tech Talk Show.
Thank you, Melissa.
Our budget's freaking huge. You have no idea. It's so huge we can barely pay our bills. But
it's a little bit bigger than North Carolina's, but just a little bit.
Yeah, we're not running in a deficit, like many states. So like we feel
we usually are, but yes, actually we usually are running in a deficit. Let's not lie.
On a credit card.
Credit card.
We do have a credit card.
That's an American thing. That's not a deficit.
That's right.
Yeah. Anyway, Jay, last words of wisdom for our bazillion loyal fans. What would you like to tell them?
Yeah, I mean, let's go back to Chryslertunity. I think this is a really tough moment for a lot of people. I don't want to minimize the struggles that people are having because there are very real struggles. I do think, for professionals and other state officials, I think this is an opportunity for us to rethink our relationship with other states, with the program. I mean, I think Medicaid managed care, I think there's a moment where there's a lot of pressure on them to figure out, demonstrate their value in a real tangible way. So I think that there's an opportunity for us to kind of take this moment, rethink how we approach it, not be afraid to venture out. Admittedly, there's less dollars in this moment, but I think that's kind of, that's kind of the origin story of the next burst of innovation that's going to come out. It's going to come out of a scarcity, and it's going to force us all to be different. I'm not excited by this opportunity. I really like it when you're flush with cash and you have no problem getting lots of access to free technology. But let's be honest, like this is going to be the moment where there's going to be some really incredible innovations that come out of this moment.
Love it. Never waste a crisis.
Nice.
Yes.
Awesome.
Okay. Well, thank you, Jay. Happy birthday again.
Happy birthday.
We love North Carolina.
I hope your PR team is walking in with a big old cake because you're on fire. So happy birthday and happy weekend to all of our
All right. You too. Thank you.
Bye, everybody. See you soon.